Hello everybody, hi. This is your corrections video for the exciting edits exercise. So if you have not done your exciting edits exercise from your email for December 4th, 2025, please go do that first. It's the same instructions as always, where you have a paragraph, it has a lot of mistakes in it, and you need to try and fix those mistakes. In this video, we're going to talk about the necessary corrections. So I understand that you guys might write different corrections than what I do, and that they could still work, depending on what they are. But just because I can't, listen and answer your questions, I am just going to give you the ones that are most important or most necessary. If you have any questions about, is my version right? Could I do it this way or that way? Just make a note, hold on to those questions, and ask me when I return from my trip, and I'd be happy to go over them with you. Okay, sorry if you hear some strange bumping and bonking around. I've got a little puppy right here with me. You want to come say hi, Georgia? Come say hi, sweetheart. Yeah, she's going to help us with our exciting edits right now. You ready? Let's do it. Okay. So the first sentence here in our exciting edits is, you have flown first class on an airplane? Okay, so we're talking about flying first class on an airplane. Very clear topic sentence. Now the problem here is that it is a question, right? We've got a question mark at the end. And the way the sentence is structured is like a non-question, regular affirmative sentence. So we need to change this around to suit the question form. So in this case, instead of you have flown, we would say, have you flown? Like that, have you? So we just switch over the have and the you. Just like we do with present continuous questions, we do it for this verb tense as well. You might be wondering, what is this verb tense? Have flown? What's flown? We have fly is the root verb, flew is the past tense, and then in this past participle, it's a strange verb tense, it's flown. This verb tense is called present perfect simple, and we use it when we're talking about an action that happened in the past, but it is still affecting the present moment today. So in this case, if you have done something, if you have flown, you've done this action in the past, but it affects the present, who you are, right? I am someone who has flown in an airplane, right? I am not someone who has flown in first class. So it affects me now. If you're a little confused, don't worry. This is a verb tense, present perfect simple, that we will discuss in detail and practice in the future. For those of you who chose Group 2 as your grammar group for this school year, this should be review for you. So there you go. Alright, so everything else in that first sentence is correct. We just need to change it into sentence form by flipping you and have. So have you flown in first class on an airplane? Next sentence, I never, but I wish to try it just once in my life. So again, I never is a very incomplete thought. We need to keep the verb tense consistent and /or add verbs to make it a complete thought. So instead of just saying I never, we could say I never did. We can say I never have, just with the unspoken understanding that we're talking about flying on an airplane. Or we can say, I've never flown first class, and add that whole entire thought again. Depends on how repetitive you want to be. But if we just say, I never, it's not correct. And it's very kind of juvenile. It's young. It sounds childish when we say, I never. So we need to complete that thought. I have never. But I wish to try it just once in my life. That's correct, but I wish to try it. That's okay. It sounds a little strange maybe because we don't use the word wish in this context that often. So you might have changed it to, but I hope, or I want, I desire to do this. You could have changed it to a different verb and it would still be good. But wish still works. Just once. This is just once. The way we've spelled ones with an S at the end looks like we're talking about, plural, multiples of something, of a noun. But we're not. We're talking about time. So we need once. It is spelled O-N-C-E. Once versus ones. So you can hear the difference when I say it. Once, ones. The S has a little bit of a different sound to it. Ones, once. Yeah. So we need that. And then in my live. I've spelled this live a little bit wrong here. We need L-I-F-E to talk about my life. If we want to talk about more than one life, we can say lives. We can't say live unless we're talking about, oh, this video is happening live. You're watching it and it's happening right now. We could use it like that, but not when we're talking about our experience, our life. So in this sentence, to sum it up, we need to say, instead of what it is, we need to say, I have never, but I wish to try it just once in my life. So never, once, and life are the words we need to change. Next, I feels uncomfortable in big crowds of peoples. So I think it's not fun to be squished in tiny airplane seat. I had to work hard at that to say that. So, okay, let's start. First part. This is a long sentence. So, I feels uncomfortable. First of all, I feel, right? I feel. This is present simple. We do not need an S because we only use an S when we're saying he, she, or it as the pronoun. So I feel is the correct present simple tense. So I feel uncomfortable. This word is spelled wrong. Instead of C-O-N, it should be C-O-M. Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is how it's said. So change that N to an M. Comfortable, not comfortable. Comfortable, yeah. Next thing. I feel uncomfortable in big crowds of people. No S on people. People is already plural. We don't need an S on that. It's like saying children's, right? Children, more than one. We already have it plural. Don't need to add. So I feel uncomfortable in big crowds of people. Like that. Next part. So I think is not fun to be squished in tiny airplane seat. Okay. We need it is, right? I think is not fun. We're missing something in there. And what it is, we have I think, and then we have another verb, is, right? Is not fun. It's a negative. But in order to complete that, we also need another pronoun. So I think it is our pronoun. It is not fun. To be squished. Squished is in this case, it is a adjective, how we're talking about it. So we need to say squished with an E and a D at the end. It is not fun to be squished. It's kind of like saying, the ice is melted. The melted ice, right? We're describing the ice now. Just like I am squished. I'm describing myself instead of saying I am doing a squish on someone or I am melting the ice with my firepower. No, we are having it done to us, so that's why we make it into an adjective, squished. And just for FYI, for your information, Most verbs, when turned into adjectives, sound like the past tense version. So squish, squished, past tense. And of course, we need an article here. So we have squished in tiny airplane seat. When we don't have articles, we sound, it's kind of, when we talk like cavemen, we say, Amanda, no like computer. Amanda like computer over here, computer there. We don't say, I don't like this computer, or I like that computer. We take out those words, the, this, that. That's not correct. It makes it a lot easier to, communicate simply, but we need those in English to make sense, right? So we need a tiny airplane seat. So now this whole sentence, okay, I'll read it correctly. I feel uncomfortable in big crowds of people. So I think it is not fun to be squished in a tiny airplane seat. Lots of little mistakes there. You can hear the little scratching sounds. That's Georgia playing. Sorry about that. She likes to play right beside or under me. So she's our classmate for today. That's just reality. Okay, I hope we're good so far. If you need to pause this video at any time to make sure, you can. That's the beauty of the video. Alright, next sentence. On the other hand, first class seats are looking so roomy. So, okay, they are looking right now. If we use this are looking present continuous, it makes it sound like they're looking comfy right now, but they don't usually look comfy. But they always look comfy. That's what I'm trying to say. So we need to use present simple because it's a usual thing. First class seats look so roomy. There we go. So on the other hand, with the comma, that's correct, right? I'm kind of adding a little additional part of the sentence to say on the other hand, like as opposed to being squished. Having those little add-ons, we usually put a comma after them because it's an add-on. We don't really need it, but it serves a purpose of, making everything sound smoother. So we add, on the other hand, comma, that's correct, how it is. First class seats. If you changed first class with the capital F and the capital C to lowercase, you'd be correct. I might have to check deeper into this first class, but it's such a commonly used noun to talk about all kinds of, many different seats on the plane, right? There's many first class seats. So it's not like a name of a seat. It's not like the name, a label. It's just a category instead of being more specific. So because it's just a category, it's like if you capitalized grocery store and big G, big S, no, like, yeah, it's a kind of store, and that's what they're called, but it's not the name of the store, it's just a category of store. Same thing here. So I'm pretty sure this is how it is. First class, lowercase f, lowercase c. And they look so roomy. So on the other hand, first class seats look so roomy. Roomy is correct. Roomy is it's a funny little word that means it has a lot of space, right? It is a word. It's a casual word, but it's just a word that means it gives you lots of space. I've got lots of room. It's roomy. And you have to spell it like that, like room in a house. So that's right. If you corrected that, change it back. It's good. Okay, next sentence. People who sit there can stretch out their legs, leaning back, and eat their meals without bumping the neighbor's elbow. Yes, that's so nice. Okay, there's a few problems here. So First problem, there. Every single there in this sentence is the wrong one. It's spelled incorrectly. So, people who sit there, we're talking about the place where we sit, first class, right? There. When we say there as a place, we spell it T-H-E-R-E. So this one, this first there, T-H-E-I-R, that's wrong. So we need to change that spelling, T-H-E-R-E. People who sit there in the place. It's always true when there is talking about a place, this is how we spell it. Can stretch out their legs. Ooh, another there. This is also wrong. This there, this T-H-E-Y apostrophe, the comma up, apostrophe R-E, that's short for they are. So if we say it in the full words, it sounds like people who sit there can stretch out they are legs. So you're calling the people legs. They are legs. What? That doesn't make any sense. So let's fix that. So there, this there. For this one, we're talking about the legs, something that belongs to the people. So when we're talking about possessions, something that belongs to them, it's just like saying her or his, right? His shirt, her shirt, his legs, her legs, right? Their legs. So in this case, we always spell the possessive there, T-H-E-I-R. Just like how the first one was originally misspelled. So, it's hard because I can't show you on my screen like I usually do, but that's okay. We're going to go through it slowly. First there, people who sit there, T-H-E-R-E, the place, can stretch out their legs, belonging, T-H-E-I-R, their legs. Good? Leaning back. Leaning back is not quite right. It sounds like it could be, maybe, in some conversation it might come out that way and it's acceptable. But because we have a list of things that people who sit in first class can do. We've got 1, they stretch out their legs. 2, they can lean back. 3, they can eat their meals without bumping somebody. So because we have a list, we need to keep the verb tense consistent in each item on the list. So first of all, people who sit there can stretch out their legs, lean back, and eat their meals without bumping. So eat, lean, stretch, all present simple. We want to keep that. So leaning should become lean. And eat their meals without bumping the neighbor's elbow. So let's start with the there. Again, a wrong there. So in this case, there, right? We are talking about something that is belonging to them, the meal that belongs to them. So as we learned in the last there, we need to spell it T-H-E-I-R, meals. So their legs, the legs belong to them, their meals, the meals belong to them. Then we have without bumping the neighbor's elbow. Now, neighbors is spelled wrong. Neighbors is spelt, it's missing letters. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I paused for a second, sorry. You could hear her still. George is just barking because my husband just came home from work, so she's running excitedly to see him. So hopefully that's not too disruptive for you. Okay, so where were we at here? We're at without bumping the neighbor's elbow. So neighbor, that is the word we need to spell. So this word is spelled N-E-I-G-H-B-O-R-S. It could also be O-U-R-S. Both of those are correct. That's one of those regional differences where in the United States they spell it O-R-S. So a lot of your autocorrect stuff from the States is going to spell it O-R-S. But in Canada we use U, O-U-R-S. So either way is correct. Both are acceptable. It's just a regional difference. So N-E-I-G-H-B-O-U-R-S. Whew, big word. So that's the person next to you, your neighbor, right? You're going to bump their elbow when you're trying to eat. Oh, it's not comfortable. Now, I want to draw your attention to the apostrophe at the end of the word neighbors. Because this is the neighbors. Well, it could be either or. I think it could be both. So we have neighbors with the apostrophe at the end. That's a way to say that the elbow belongs to the neighbor, or the neighbors, right? If we were only talking about one neighbor, right, then we would put the apostrophe between the R and the S, like a man does, right? I put apostrophe after A and before the S at the end. But if we're talking about more than one of something, and that this belongs to more than one person or thing, we just put the little apostrophe at the end after the S. It helps us differentiate between what is plural and what is possessive with that little comma up, the apostrophe. So in this case, it could be without bumping the neighbor's elbows. If you want to keep that apostrophe there, you can. But then, I mean, it's more than one elbow because two people can't have more, it's just one elbow, but two people. It doesn't make sense, right? Two people can't have one elbow. So if you want to say neighbors and say more than one and keep that little apostrophe at the end after the S, then add an S to elbows. So neighbors' elbows. If you want to just have one elbow, right, then it has to be one person. Otherwise, what's wrong with that person? They have more than, oh my gosh. So, yes, so the neighbor with the apostrophe S, the neighbor's elbow. So, whichever one you choose, both are correct. Georgia needs to calm down. Those tickets, whoever, are expensive highly. Okay, that's a short sentence, but a problematic one here. So those tickets, that's correct. Those tickets, we're talking about the first class tickets. That's the thing, right? First class tickets. Whoever. What? Who's who? We're talking about a thing. What I'm trying to say is however. However. So even though they're really great, right? But they're really great, but however kind of accomplishes that but word. So those tickets, however. So now we just switch the H, O, and W. So instead of who, H-W-O, it should be H-O-W. Or W-H-O, it should be H-O-W. Yeah, however. Good. So those tickets, however, and the commas on either side of that however, that is correct. Keep those commas. Because again, we're interrupting ourselves to add that little word to help make everything flow smoother and compare it and relate to the previous sentences. So we need those. So those tickets, comma, however, comma, are expensive highly. This is not right. Expensive highly. In English, a very common struggle, right, is that we put the adverb or the adjective before the, or this is the adverb and the noun, right? We put it before. A lot of languages put the adverb or the adjective after the word that they're describing, right? But in this case, we need to put it before, because in English we would do it always before. So we would say instead, those tickets, however, are highly expensive. So just switch those two words. The spelling, other than however, everything else is right. Next sentence. Maybe once day I will save enough for buy two. Okay, another short sentence with a lot of little boo-boos in there. So maybe. Maybe is one word. So let's just take that space away between may and be. Put it together. So maybe, not may be. Maybe, once day. It's just one day. Maybe one day in the future, right? Maybe sometime in the future, or maybe eventually. Whatever kind of word you want to use or change to make that the idea, that's fine. But if you're going to stick with this once day, you need to take out that C. We only want one day. So maybe one day. Maybe one day. I will save enough for buy two. For buy two. Yeah, for buy two is funky. That's not right. So instead, we would say, I will save enough to buy 1, 2. Right? Because we need to say, what are we buying? We can't just say to buy. We need to say what it is here. We don't have to say specifically. We don't have to say to buy a first class ticket too. We could say buy 1. That replaces the first class ticket. Depends how much you want to say. So those tickets, however, are highly expensive. Maybe one day I will save enough to buy 1, 2. To buy 1, 2. Or to buy some 2. Or even, you don't even need 2. If you want to take out 2, you can say, I will save enough to buy 1. Or to get 1, or to have 1, if you want to change the verb. Okay, almost done. Getting there. A couple more sentences here. Them who can afford to purchase must have suitcases full of money. So, them, right? Them, when we say them, we're talking about just the people, right? The people who can afford to purchase. But them doesn't sound right there because it's not right, right? It shouldn't be them. It should be either those. That's the word we would say for if we're talking about people, those who can afford to purchase it. Or we can say the people who can afford to purchase this, right? So we could say the people or those who can afford. Then to purchase. To purchase what? We have to have a word in there to say what we are purchasing. So it can either be to purchase them, to purchase one, to purchase first class tickets, the whole word. We need to say what it is. So to correct it, I would write those who can afford to purchase one, or to purchase these tickets or first class tickets. Hey, Georgia. She's chewing on her boot. Look how small her little boot is. This is not a toy, Georgia. No. Oh, jeez. Georgia, you see her? No, you can't see her. She's too small. This is not a toy. No toy, sweetheart. No. No toy. Working from home. Wonderful. Yeah, okay, she's settled now. She's got her bone there. She's good. Okay, so those who can afford to purchase them, good. Next part. Must have suitcases full of money. Yes, that's fine. They must have suitcases full of money. This is, of course, an exaggeration, but it's just to show how expensive I think they are. For now, I'll continue flying in the economy class because explores the world is worth being uncomfortable for. For now, comma. That is correct. Keep the comma. Okay? That's a little add-on, an extra, an addition to the beginning of the sentence to just help make it sound all smooth together. So for now, comma, I'll. This is ill. Ill, like as in sick? No, we need I'll. This is the short form for I will. So because it is a contraction, I will, we need an apostrophe between I and LL. So I apostrophe LL, I'll. Continue flying in the economy class because explores the world. It's like I'm trying to use present simple, but it's wrong. No. In this case, explore is more of an activity in this sentence, right? Exploring. It should be exploring the world. This is an activity. So just saying, I like drawing, right? I like drawing. I like painting, right? That I like crafting. I like whatever. I like running. That is an activity. So I like exploring the world. We use ing on the end of that one. So it's not present continuous, but because it's an activity, we add the ing. That's a more complicated grammar lesson, which even the advanced students, some of them did in other classes, but not in my class. So we will get to that too. And the world, there's only one world, who knows? Maybe there's a million worlds. Oh, that'd be cool. But no, we don't need an S there. We just say world. Exploring the world. No S. Is worth being uncomfortable for. Now, again, I've spelled the word uncomfortable wrong in the same way that I did earlier. So instead of U-N-C-O-N, we need C-O-M, comfortable for. So, let me try to read the whole paragraph here with the corrections, and then you can kind of double check that you've got every important one. Okay. Have you flown in first class on an airplane? I never have, but I wish to try it just once in my life. It feels uncomfortable in big crowds of people. Or I feel uncomfortable in big crowds of people. So I think it is not fun to be squished in a tiny airplane seat. On the other hand, first class, small letters, first class seats look so roomy. People who sit there, E-R-E, can stretch out their legs, E-I-R, lean back, and eat their, E-I-R, meals without bumping the neighbor's elbow, or the neighbor's elbows, whichever one. N-E-I-G-H-B-O-U-R, that's neighbor. Those tickets, however, are highly expensive. Maybe one day I will save enough to buy one too. Those who can afford to purchase first-class tickets must have suitcases full of money. For now, I'll, with an apostrophe, continue flying in the economy class because exploring the world is worth being uncomfortable for. There we go, we did it! Half an hour later! So you guys, if you had questions again or needed to, change it and it looks very different, the one that you made, if it looks very different from the one that I made, that's okay. These are just the basic changes that are needed. Hang on to your exciting edits. Change what you need to from this video. And then if you have a question about is this right or is that right, keep that. You can send it to me or you can bring it to class, whatever works best for you, and then we can talk about it when I return. Okay? I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've been able to understand me okay without being able to see my screen here. I'm still working out how to do, the whole screen sharing thing on a video. We're not quite there yet, but maybe one day. Maybe one day, just like first class. So I will see you guys in the next instructional video. Good luck with your virtual classes, and yeah, great work! Yay!